In March 2024, Senegal didn't just elect a president, it elected a partnership. It was a political romance that captivated the whole of Africa. Ousmane Sonko, the firebrand kingmaker, and Bassirou, Diomaye, Faye, his quiet intellectual shadow. They sold the country a powerful, simple message. Diomaye is Sonko. Two bodies, one vision. A presidency of brotherhood. But today, in late 2025, that brotherhood is bleeding. The palace is divided, the coalition is fracturing, and the question on everyone's lips is no longer, can they change Senegal, but rather, who is actually in charge? To understand the breakdown, we must understand the bond. This partnership was forged in fire. For years leading up to the election, Senegal, often seen as West Africa's stable democracy, was a powder keg. The youths were restless, the economy was stagnant, and the administration of the then president, Macky Sall, was accused of stifling dissent. And then enter Ousmane Sonko, a former tax inspector turned whistleblower. He became the voice of the rage. He didn't just oppose the system, he wanted to dismantle it. His party, PASTEF, wasn't just a political machine, it was a movement. The establishment panicked. Between 2021 and 2024, Sonko faced a barrage of legal charges, from moral allegations to defamation. It was widely viewed as a lawfare, using the courts to decapitate the opposition. By early 2024, the Constitutional Council delivered the final blow. Ousmane Sonko was barred from running for president. The regime thought they had won. They had cut off the head of the snake, but they forgot about the snake's architect. While Sonko was the charisma, Bassirou Diomaye Faye was the brain, the Secretary General of the party, the man who wrote the doctrine. And crucially, he was sitting right there in prison with Sonko. In a stroke of genius that would be studied by political scientists for decades, Sonko triggered Plan B. He didn't boycott the election or incite riot. He simply pointed at his deputy and said, "Choose him." The slogan was blunt. Diomaye moi Sonko. Diomaye is Sonko. It was a brilliant psychological trick. It told voters that Faye was merely the vessel. The spirit of the presidency will be Sonko. They campaigned on a ticket of rupture, sovereignty, Pan-Africanism, and an end to French influence. Faye was released from prison just 10 days before the vote. He didn't even have the time to shave the prison beard before he was on a campaign trail. The strategy worked perfectly. On March 24, 2024, Bassirou Diomaye Faye won a landslide victory in the first round with over 54% of the vote, a humiliation for the establishment. Upon taking office, Faye's first move was to appoint Sonko as his prime minister. On paper, it was perfect. Faye will handle the pomp, the diplomacy, and the state. Sonko will handle the government, the policy, and the dirty work of reform. They called it the two-headed executive. But history tells us that when two kings sit on the throne eventually breaks. For the first year, they held it together. But the reality of governing is different from the poetry of campaigning. Senegal's finances were in the ruins, and they needed money. This is where the ideological split began. President Faye, realizing the weight of the office, began pivoting towards pragmatism. He traveled abroad, spoke diplomatically to international lenders, and adopted a measured tone. He was becoming presidential. Sonko, however, remained a revolutionary. As prime minister, he continued to rail against foreign interference and push for radical ruptures. He was playing to the base, while Faye was playing to the wall. By November 2025, the Cold War went hot. The spark was the leadership of the ruling coalition. In a move that shocked the political class, President Faye unilaterally fired the coalition head, a die-hard Sonko loyalist, and replaced her with Aminata Toure, a former prime minister under the previous regime. To Sonko supporters, this was heresy. It was like inviting the enemy into the war room. Sonko's party publicly revolted, issuing a statement rejecting the president's decision and stating they shared neither values nor principles with the new appointee. The veil of unity was torn. As of late November 2025, a fragile truce has been called, with Sonko stating that dissension will not come from me, but the dynamic had fundamentally shifted. President Faye is asserting his constitutional authority, signaling that he's not just a placeholder, he's the president. And Sonko is realizing that being the kingmaker does not make you the king. They are now trapped in a marriage of inconvenience. Faye cannot fire Sonko without risking a massive uprising from the youth who worship him. Sonko cannot topple Faye without destroying the government they spent 10 years fighting to build. They teamed up to win the war, but the peace might just destroy them both. As of today, they have found a settlement. Will this erupt again? And what will it lead to? And what does this mean for Senegal? All Senegalese are watching, and the rest of Africa is also watching. Thank you for watching this episode. Please tell us, what do you think of the Faye and Sonko issue today? Can they be resolved peacefully and amicably? Let us know in the comment box.